This episode of the SWTOR Escape podcast is brought to you by the Behind the Games podcast on newoverlords.com and the unevenly distributed emerging tech podcast on nexavise.com. That's nexavise.com. This week's Behind the Games podcast is with Lucia DeVisser, the head of Total Mayhem Games, and she and their team there is amazing. And their game, We Were Here Forever, Seema and I have played it a little bit, is awesome. So definitely check out that episode. I think you're really going to like it. Thanks everyone for helping out with subscribing and reviews on comments on those new shows, telling your friends. It's a big deal for us. It's really an interesting journey for us. So thanks a lot. All right, let's do this show. As predicted, mere moments after our last episode, Update 7.1 went live on the PTS, just as we thought it would. We talk about that and more on this episode of the SWTOR Escape podcast from newoverlords.com. Our broadcast aspect today is EPC 428. And with me is my co-host, Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hello, Max. It's going great. You know, someone in the guild this week said that the nightlife event was still going on, so I was thinking we should check that out because I think we might need to do some stuff there.
I think it's not, but I'm not sure, and anyone could say that anytime, and you would make me have to go check to be sure.
So I spent a little time on the PTS that you mentioned, since it did come up, namely going through some of the dailies in the new daily area. So we have our thoughts and reactions, or my reactions anyway, to that. In game, I've been mostly, aside from, normal MFN, and, well, we didn't have our operations team meet this week because of a special thing that you and I did, which is we were on Working Class Nerds earlier today, which was fun as always.
Yes.
So I've been doing like the minimum conquest, like making Invasion Force in a Dark Project, raising the influence of a companion, and doing rep grind in a space mission, And I've been sort of still galactic seasoning, even though I've not only finished it, but at this point I've gotten the 100 weekly missions.
Just a dash. Of galactic season.
Just a dash. Yes. And I'm still doing the rep thing, even though it's probably, kind of an empty gesture in terms of getting the achievement. But then, empty gestures are what we're here for.
1 second. Quick pause. So I'm gonna play it, and Zen was saying the audio is coming in with reverb or something.
Bet you didn't see this coming!
Yes, I do see what the problem is there. What do you think, Zen? Should we start it over?
No, I'm not saying all that again.
Okay.
Sorry. You can fix it in post.
Oh, fix it in post. We'll do it live. It's probably fine. The cues were probably a little bit weird, but with a little bit of echo. But sorry about that. People listen to the podcast. Anything else going on this week then, Seema?
No, I was just getting ready to say, and how are things with you, Max?
Things are going great. I did some swoop racing. I did some extra podcasting. I downloaded the PTS. I had trouble downloading the PTS. What I did is I have Star Wars: The Old Republic installed on Steam, and I have it installed in the regular client. I have them both installed both places. I don't know why. I almost always just use the regular client, and that's also where I have the PTS installed. I ran into a problem though, where I tried to update the PTS, do the patch as soon as it was available, and it would hang halfway through applying the patch. The disk that it's on, I've got a SSD just for games, would peg to 100% utilization, and nothing would happen. It would just hang forever.
So is it near full?
No, not at all. not at all. It's about half full. I've got gigs available, terabytes available. I had the same problem trying to update and patch ESO and had to completely reinstall ESO earlier this week. So I don't know what it is, and it's freaking me out a little bit.
ESO can also be on Steam, right?
I guess it can, but that's weird if you run it on Steam and run it on the desktop. I think you actually have to buy it separately to run it off of Steam.
Oh, I see.
So that one's weird.
But I was going to say, I mean, yeah, at least with the SWTOR, you probably should just, migrate to Steam and forget having both clients and all that.
Probably. I think I'm just going to do that. So I installed the PTS off of Steam, let Steam install it. It was a little bit hard to find. If you go to the store page, it's just like in a weird bit of blue text in the middle of the page. It's not like a big button that says install the PTS. So if you are going to install it there, that's how you got to do it. It is working fine now, but I am keeping an eye on that drive.
In my library, it's just like a second game right next to SWTOR.
Right.
It's not hard to find at all.
No, the install for it.
Oh.
So the install for it, you got to go to the store page for the regular game, and then there's just like a little line of text in the middle of the page in a little blue box, and you got to click on it.
It's been a while since I did it, but yeah. I feel like I didn't have any trouble with it.
I did a bunch of swoop racing, so back on the SWTOR stuff. I did a bunch of swoop racing, not enough to finish the rep. I should have started earlier in the week, but I did all the races and I did enough. I had a bunch of their currency too, and I bought all of the decos off all of the vendors that I didn't have. I bought all of the tier 1 of the mounts, not the legendary mounts because I'm not up to legendary yet, but all that stuff that we were talking about, I finally got that. But I'm not up to legendary and I've got a lot to buy when I get there, so I got to finish it next time around. Something to do. I can look forward to have something to check off the list. And I still playing a little bit of Diablo Immortal. Not a lot, and I don't expect to. I'm not going to do any group content in Diablo Immortal, like try to put together a raid group on my phone or my iPad. That would be difficult. But I'll tap at it in spare time, sitting on the couch or something. That's kind of been interesting. I've also been playing a bit more V-Rising, and then playing all the other AIE games as well. Mostly just daily logins on some of that other stuff, just to keep an eye on things. But Star Wars: The Old Republic, as you said, just a dash of galactic seasoning is keeping me going. That has been fine, and I'm glad we've got 7.1 on the PTS to talk about tonight. As we get into that, because there are some things to talk about, we'll talk a little bit about it in the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
So first up in the news, there's a few posts. So if you want all of the details, you need to go to the forums, because there's a relatively big one there that talks all about gearing. So gearing is going to work slightly differently for R4 Anomaly, and I kind of like it. So it is a little bit different. It's not as different as it sounds at first blush. So don't get too worried. In story mode, and when you just run the operation, it will mostly feel like how it used to be, except when you're doing veteran mode, because there's extra stuff at veteran mode. So at veteran mode, what you're going to do is you're going to get sort of 2 sets of gear, and there's two sets. The first set that you're going to get is the kind of thing that you'll get you'll get regardless, and everybody's going to get a piece that drops. Sort of the way we gear up today doing operations, you'll get a piece of gear, and that's the hazardous gear. It's prototype, and it goes up to 340, but you'll get 1 veteran token, and you take those tokens in, you can turn them in and get your hazardous gear set. The other gear set, which is more for a progression team to use as a tool to gear up, is the virulent gear set. And the way that works is you don't have to complete the whole operation. You're not doing the operation completion. As you complete each boss, the bosses will drop 2 tokens, and each boss drops a different set of 3 different slots, and they only drop the tokens for those slots. Those 2 tokens for 8 people are tradable. So the deal is it's sort of going back to how progression gearing tends to work. DKP, get your DKP systems warmed up, because you'll kill boss 1 and then you'll have 2 tokens to distribute, and maybe you need a little bit more DPS to get through boss 2, or you're still slow on boss 1. It's not exactly on farm yet. And so maybe you'll give it to DPS. Or maybe the tanks are still dying and they're going to need a little bit of more defensive, or whatever you're going to do, you're going to get to decide strategically as a team how you're going to distribute those 2 tokens as you kill each of the bosses and as your team continues to do the fights week after week. That's how gear kind of tends to work in MMOs in general, when you're progressing through fights and not able to get the whole thing down all at once. And I don't mind it. I kind of like it. I think it's because you're still also getting the hazardous gear set, doing the virulent gear set next to it, and they both go to 340. It seemed reasonable to me to allow it to be split like that and have that 2 token set, 2 token pieces to get that virulent set as you progress. Any thoughts on that from you, Seema? I know.
So
this is kind of my deal.
Yeah, my thought on it, which is kind of unrelated to operations, is since they're going to fix the secondary and tertiary stats in level synced content, I think one of the things that means is if you do end up with level 340 gear, it's going to be, you're going to have an easier time out in the world, more, so that'll be an additional benefit to going through this gear upgrade.
Yes. I think we're all going to
have more crit, and yeah.
We're all going to want to be getting to that 332, 334, 36, 38, 40. We're all going to want to get to 340 relatively quick. We're going to talk in just a bit about what we see on 7.1 on the patch so far in places like Manon, where things are a little bit hard. We're going to want some gear upgrades before long. What came this week, though, Seema? We got a little surprised, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Very little.
Yeah. I mean, not so much a surprise because it was supposed to happen on Tuesday. So I guess it was a surprise that it didn't happen on Tuesday, but it did happen today, which was a small patch. And it had, the notes on it had basically 3 fixes. One was a fix to some abilities that weren't correctly moving the character. And this might be the reason that they had to have an update, because I guess it's a pretty big deal when you have an ability that's supposed to move your character and then it doesn't actually move it, or it moves it to the wrong place. So that affect Marauders and Sentinels and Guardians. But the second one makes me feel like I've totally out of the loop on something, because its character names have been increased to 21 letters or symbols.
Awesome. How many are they? How many are they today? I have no idea. Or how many were they before today?
I thought it was 20. But so maybe I'm totally. So I thought they added 1 letter, but actually maybe it was more like 15 and they added 6 letters. But it's
okay.
I haven't noticed.
Is that something that people were asking for?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good question.
Maybe that's what's making me feel like I'm sort of out of the loop on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
So yeah, and then there was a bug with repair costs being not computed correctly on some gear, so they fixed that. It was very small.
So this was 7.0.2b, and there was just these couple little fixes, but the patch itself was huge. It was like 12 gig or something, right? It was like a quarter of the size of the install of the whole game. I bet. Yeah. I bet there's more going on behind the scenes, and maybe there's additional updates that were going in that are getting things ready for 7.1. I bet there was more reasons for 7.0.
I would not be shocked.
I don't think you need 12 gig to update character names to have 1 more letter in them or whatever.
It wouldn't be efficient.
Could still be the case, but
right.
Because maybe changing character names. Maybe they had to like manually go in and change that character name field in like 7,000 places across the code base. But I don't know. June in-game events. We always do a little update on that. Swoop Rally is over. Rackles are coming next week. June 14th to June 21st. June 14th is a Tuesday? June 14th is my birthday. Is that a Tuesday? My birthday's on a Tuesday? Whatever. It's like every day is the same to me these days, so I guess that's fine. June 14th to June 21st is Rackles. Those are coming back. And then Gree are June 28th to July 5th. Cool. What's up in community news, Seema, for the AIE community, AIE-guild.org?
Well, first of all, I know we say this often, but everyone is welcome to come to our mandatory fun night on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. You basically, you don't have to be in the guild. Just feel free to show up. You can join us in Discord. There's if you need the Discord info, it's at AIE-guild.org.
Anyone on our server? Anyone on Keller's Void? No, Starforge. Keller's Void.
Keller's Void. That wasn't even the first one that I was on. Anyway, So MFN, come one, come all.
Sweet. And then we have our couple ops teams. Got like 5 or 6. 2 of them, the Sunday night and Monday night, I think still have an opening for DPS. Get up on in there. I keep saying AIE-guild.org. Our Discord link is in the upper right. Sunday night is an Imperial side ops team. Monday night is a pub side ops team. They both run in the evenings around 7:30 p.m. Central. Fun, casual, cool groups. Get in there. Get in our channel. Mention that you'd like to sub in or try it out, or you want the full experience and you want to just be a full member, and they would love to have you. So that would be really cool. Hey, shout out to the chat room. We are off the rails tonight, as we keep saying, because, let's make this part of community news, because, and they're helping keep us on track, because we were on the Working Class Nerds podcast tonight. So check out Working Class Nerds episode coming out tomorrow, or I think they usually get it out right away on Friday morning. We had a blast with Nick and Marcus. We probably went like at least an hour and a half. I think that's what that's going to end up as. And we talked about Star Wars. We talked about this stuff. We talked quite a bit about the new shows and why we're doing them, and what we're doing with both of those new shows, the business tech one and the behind the games. And we talked about tons of other things. Marcus obviously typically does those fun questions at the end, and it kind of did make me think. The favorite ice cream, the favorite Star Wars character, the wrong answer for favorite ice cream. I don't usually have favorites of that kind of stuff.
I mean, the wrong answer for favorite ice cream was very specific too. So yeah.
Right. Which it was still a flavor that I like. So pistachio. They said pistachio is the wrong flavor.
Oh, you gave it away.
Well, hit the dump button. But you do, but I won't tell you what I did say that my favorite was. You'll have to tune in to Working Class Nerds to hear that. Working Class Nerds. So check it on all the feeds, and they're posting the audio stream to YouTube these days too. So it's in a lot of places. You can find it, and you will hear what our favorite ice cream was and what our favorite Star Wars characters are, among many other things, for a nice episode with those guys, which is always fun. We've got 7.1, though, to talk about, Seema, don't we? Mm-hmm. We sure do. And 7.1 came 5 minutes after our last podcast.
Bet you didn't see this coming!
We did. We did see that one coming. Nice try, BioWare. We knew. We predicted it.
Yeah, we did.
5 minutes. 5 minutes after we finish recording, just so that we are going to be a week late in talking about it. It's going to go live, which pretty much did it. It was on Friday.
I'm glad it's still up, actually, because they've taken it down on Thursday several times, too.
Hey, did Max and Seema finish recording? All right, put it up. All right. Are they about to go live? Take it down. That's what's going on behind the scenes. You know that's how they roll.
we are the center of the galaxy.
Yes, of course we are. But we do have 7.1. We've got patch notes. We've got Manon. We've got R4. Those are the key things. Definitely check out the patch notes. What intro comments do you have before we actually visit the planet? Am I even still logged in on the planet? Better make sure I am still. There I am. On this cool, rainy planet. What are you most excited to experiment with and check out and try out on the PTS, Seema?
Well, I do play dailies quite a bit, so that's I was happy to be able to give the Manon dailies a try.
I agree. I am most excited about R4, but
yes.
I will spend the most time in the dailies. So
right. Well, and PTS, I knew on my own I can go check out the dailies.
Right.
We have to organize something to try out the operation.
Yes. We have to.
And we can't because we're busy with nightlife.
Yes. Every day I go to the casino and I check if nightlife is there. Every day I log in and go check. It's not.
We should
not
hire
today.
someone, Max, to set up an ops team on the PTS so we could go check out the operation.
What do we say to nightlife? Not today.
Not today.
So 7.1 is live. It's on the PTS. R4 Anomaly, including the final boss, Lady Dominique, who we have not seen before. And then the balance changes are in there. Arsenal's back on the menu, boys. And then we got the Manon Daily. So let's start there. Let's start with Manon because we're on Manon. We can walk around and we can check it out. SWTOR's got some good guides. MMO Bits. Zamzam's got a guide on all of the rep stuff that you can get with the dailies. Go check those out. We'll probably show pieces of them and we'll show the patch notes. But we are here. And my favorite part, one of my favorite parts so far, is when you use the galactic map to travel to Manon. Hello, galactic map. Galactic map did not come up. The galactic map does not come up here. When
it
you
does for
use the galactic, it's not for me.
Galaxy map. Yeah. I just exited the game. I'm such an idiot. Instead of exiting the map, I went totally out. I clicked the X in the upper right corner. Not the first time I've done it.
Oh, oh boy. I had the UI off. There we go. That counts as part of the UI apparently. So when you go to the galactic map and you look at Manon, there is now, as there is for any of the daily locations, when you go to the planet, like you're going to Section X, which is on Belsavis, you have the regular landing point for Belsavis on the galactic map, and then you have the new point where the dailies are. So Invasion Zone is what you want to click to get to travel to that area for the galactic map from Manon to start the dailies. And that takes you here to this Imperial shuttle, and I'm sure there's a Republic shuttle on the other side. And it is super cool. It's this cool waterfall area. Chat room. What do you think the first thing that I did was when I got here? And then Seema and I compared notes afterwards, and it was the first thing that she did as well. Anyone? I jumped in, and I'm not going to do it now because it takes you somewhere else, and I want to start here. But I jumped in the water, and it is not ankle deep water. It is
the death water.
It is a death zone, as they call them.
Death volume, yeah.
Death volume, yeah. Oh, that's good call. But I like this. I want this decoration with this huge ceiling to floor waterfall, and the water looks like it's flowing in underneath the platform. I like this. I like that it's raining out here. It's raining out. Louis C.K., it's raining out. I think that was...
Wait, you like the rain?
Here, I like the rain effect, and right here, only here. I don't like to play in weather effects in MMOs, correct? but I
yes,
like
right
the
here.
lightning and the rain right here, because
and
I'm
I like
not
those
playing.
Phosphorescent geometric plants.
Yeah, those are cool too. Those better be a deco somewhere that we can get.
I like how you threaten.
Those better be. If you know what's good for you, BioWare. You'll make sure I can get some of these phosphorescent plants. Because who's this guy? Look at this. Who is this guy? He is Lord Arkflay.
He's a warrior trainer.
Warrior trainer. He was enraged for a moment there.
Well, yeah, there's class trainers and profession trainers, crew skills trainers here.
Lord Arkflay.
Scattered about.
His first name's Bobby. Bobby Flay.
I get it.
Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
So little landing area, and then you get to the command level. Go to the elevator. Go to the command level, and this is where you pick up all the dailies. So it's a kind of a cool little area. Oh, why do I have a plus next to this armor mech? What do I absorb? Oh, I've got 2 new augments that I can make. The 77 augments. Look at here. Why is this on here?
Oh.
Are these?
I wasn't expecting that. Like this
I
character.
didn't see this coming!
My character is a biochem, so there's nothing new for her.
So are these new? So these are the 74s, and what are the current gold numbered ones? I don't know. This is something to look at.
That I would ask Max.
So these are the OEM RPM, but I don't have to disassemble stuff to get the patterns. I wonder if this is just on the PTS, or we will get them now and not have to be doing disassembly to
Which
get
we
them.
should do. Just a general disclaimer too. Like, we're showing you what's on the PTS, but it may not be the same.
It
by
may
the time
not.
It gets to live.
And in fact, it's often not. And in fact, we know there are known bugs, and there are things that haven't been listed as known bugs that we will mention, which we think are known bugs, specifically with the dailies and the rewards that you get from them. Oh, you're going to die.
No, I jumped on the thing.
You made it.
Well, I am going to die though, because
you're going to jump in the water, which I would do, but then you're going to end up somewhere else. Anyway.
I know. So
we're in this command level.
Oh, I did it.
You click on the mission board, and this is where you get all the dailies.
So there's a cool thing about this is there are heroic dailies, but you don't have to do them if you don't want to for the weekly.
Right.
And you can do the weekly all in one day, which people have been asking for. Yes. And I did not do the weekly. I did all the way up to the weekly, but because I was testing something else, I wanted to see how it turned over. But
so you did 5 of the dailies?
Yeah.
Did you do any of the heroic ones?
I did not.
Okay.
Because I'm lazy.
And they're hard, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I haven't tried them, but I remember when Dantooine, well, actually, I still feel like Dantooine, I don't do the heroics on Dantooine unless I have someone with me.
Yeah, they're a little bit hard. And when Onderon first came out, it was hard to do the dailies. They will be a little bit harder. When we have all 340 gear, they're probably not going to be as hard. They'll probably feel normal. But reports are that they're a little bit harder. But yeah, the weekly is only to do 6. And there is what? 4, 5, 6, 7 regulars and 2 heroic 2s and 1 heroic 4.
And I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know. I think when I was on looking this earlier, there was maybe 3 heroic 2s and 1 heroic 4. So they might be on a rotation as well.
Huh.
But don't take that to the bank. I could be misremembering.
What else we will not be taking to the bank is any significant mission rewards for doing any of these things, which this is one of the things that we think is a bug. So if you look at mission rewards, it's only a rep token for doing any of the dailies. I think that's wrong. And there's been reports of like all the bosses in R4 are only dropping tech frags right now and not dropping any of the gear tokens like they're supposed to be. So this we think is bugs in the PTS, and they'll be fixed over time. I would never expect us to be able to be running missions on Coruscant and getting daily resource matrices and doing new dailies on Manon, especially once you get to legendary rep and get nothing for them. So I bet this will be fixed eventually. But each of the regular dailies awards a green rep token. There's also like the Heroic 4 is a blue rep token, and the weekly gets you a purple rep token. All of the reputation Amanon seems back to normal. It's not like what the reputation was for Shadow Syndicate.
Yeah.
So it's back to the normal levels, back to the normal amounts, which will be nice.
And it's also back to the normal. When you loot it, it gets applied immediately. So if you don't want to get those conquest points on your character that's going to Manon, you better get your rep conquest thing done first before you come here.
I bet when you hit the limit, and this is the way the other reps work as well, when you hit the limit, the weekly limit for that rep, then you will start getting tokens instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you still have characters that are able to do it. But you could switch and do all of the weekly, you could probably do the weekly 2 to 3 times, because that's the way all the weeklies work. And then you can do it on multiple characters. In 1 week, you could get enough rep tokens to then 4 weeks later have turned them all in to get to legendary.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know math-wise, but yes, that idea-wise.
I think it's 4 or 5 weeks. I've got a spreadsheet. I think I've got an old spreadsheet still on newoverlords.com. I don't know if all the math is correct up to current days, but...
So if you do decide that you want to come over to the PTS and check this out, and you do it this week, make sure you copy over a character that has completed the 7.0 story. That is a prerequisite to being able to do these dailies here on the PTS. It's possible that by the time this gets to live, that won't be a requirement, because the way they worded it was, it's currently the way it works on the PTS, or they said something like that. You have to have finished 7.0 story. I kind of hope they change it, because that is quite an investment. If you need to finish the 7.0 story to do these dailies on an alt.
I don't know, because that's the way things work for every other daily area. You have to finish the story.
I know, but the skips are closer too.
They are quite a bit closer. I would wonder also, it would be nice if now that 7.1 is out, if they allowed a story skip to at least the start of the 7.0 content. That would be great for our alt.
Yes.
I mean, we're 7 months in now to 7.0. Give us the skip to not have to do all of Onderon and all of that.
I would like to have this area to be in my sort of bag of tricks for things I can do if I feel like.
On any character. Yeah. Right, exactly. So even if I had to do the Manon content on the character to unlock it, I'm not going to go through and do all of 6.0 or 6.5 or wherever we start to do all of Onderon and all of Meksha.
I mean, it's aside from the story parts, it's something like 5 instances. I mean, it's crazy.
Right. You're doing all of the Shea Vizsla flashpoint and multiple flashpoints, and that's
all
rough.
The story on Onderon and Meksha. That's a lot.
The other thing we get here on the PTS, which you can check out, is a view of the rep rewards. Zam's got a nice guide on this. Do I have that up somewhere? Well, maybe I'll pull it up in a second, but I'm looking at the vendor right now. You can see once you've got the rep, all of the rewards just cost credits, and they're small amounts. They're nominal. The most expensive one is 1 million credits for the title at Legendary, but everything else is between 20K, 50K up to a couple 100K, 500K for a bunch of these decos. That's trivial for these days. In fact, if you do the dailies to get the rep, you will have gotten enough credits to buy everything many times over. So don't worry about it. Ooh, baby progenitor wall fountain.
Yes.
So there are, it's just his severed head in a wall.
And there's a new turtle.
Let me zoom in. Oh, Seema says there's a new turtle.
There's There's a new turtle.
Let me zoom us in a little bit so it makes it easier for people to see that are looking at the video. Let's get my global scale up a bit. That looks terrible for my UI parts, but now we can see things zoomed in. Baby progenitor wall fountain is just the severed head spitting water out. That's cool. Blue colto sconce. Oh, that's kind of cool. These are going to be cool, aren't they? Turtle. Ooh, a cerulean turtle.
So Forster's asking, how does it compare to other daily areas? Which I do have some comments about that. I feel like it's more in the style of CZ198 and Black Hole than it is in the style of, say, IOCAF. There are quests, there are missions that require, not require, but that use the Seeker Droid.
Oh,
which I did not
binoculars
expect.
Or the actual Seeker Droid? You got to
Seeker Droid. There might be a macro binoculars one also, but I didn't run into it. It's a bigger area than CZ198, obviously. I mean, it would be hard to be smaller than CZ198. It does have a couple of quests. It does have one quest, at least, where you have to pick up items off the ground. But they were spawning very fast. And when I was here before I was by myself, I believe that's how we'll be in live also. That's not just a PTS thing, because mission items are spawning really fast in live right now, like the biotoxin things and the Colto things in CZ198. They spawn, they respawn, like within 10 seconds.
Okay.
And they were doing that here too. It's bigger, so you have to go more places, sort of a la IOCAF, but not to the extent of IOCAF.
Got it.
I did find that my companion Shay Vizsla had some problems with the mobs. I'm not sure if that's intended or if that's more companion issues, companions not performing, but we'll find out, I guess.
I'm still clicking through, for anybody that's watching, a bunch of the decos. Bunch of cool undersea decos, coral, stuff that would go good in your Manon stronghold. There's a couple areas in your Manon stronghold where you can place decorations underwater when you go down underneath in the lower area of your Manon stronghold. There's a cool coral reef. There's little smaller chunks of ocean coral. There's a bunch of cool decorations. There's 2 armor sets on here that I like. Ooh, look at all this sea kelp.
I mean, even being completely unfamiliar with the mission and the area, it still went pretty quick for me. So I think it's going to be a good addition. Unlike, the daily areas that I almost never go to.
So Zen is asking, can the decos be sold? It doesn't say bind on pickup, but it does say requires champion standing. So even if they can be sold, then it's still going to have to be sold to someone that has champion standing to be able to use it. There are 5 NPC decos, which are some of my favorite decos. So there are, look at that guy, Selkath Researcher. I've got a medical bay in my Yavin stronghold for my bounty hunter that would work well with. So there's the Selkath Bioengineer, Selkath Conservator, the Selkath Facility Guard, Selkath Quickblade, and the Selkath Researcher. Oh, that is awesome. I love those NPCs. These little shrines, a lot of seaweed, a lot of seaweed decorations. Steam exhaust. That's nice because it's got a little animation. Tactical assault column, a little turret column, and then the title. the waterlogged. So only one pet, no mounts. I don't see any mounts here,
Yeah, there's no mount.
which is
That
interesting.
people were bringing that up in the forums. It's like, why no mount, man?
There is a deco, which is a hidden submersible, which is the older Manon submarine mount, like hidden in kelp seaweed bed that you can put somewhere. There's a lot of underworld. There's not very many underwater hooks in your Manon stronghold to accommodate all of these decos.
There are a lot though. When you look out the windows.
Yeah, and even that, it's only like a couple blocks.
Really? I thought it was more.
I thought it was only like a 9 block, or that you could make into a 4 block or a 1 large deco hook out one window, and then same thing out other window. So maybe like 4 of those areas total. So we'll see.
You need to get more than one seaweed because that submersible is not very well hidden.
Yeah, what the heck, man? I can see it. It's right there. Hey,
you need more seaweed.
Hey, I see you. I like this turtle though.
I do too.
Do you remember I made the turtle in Blender, 3D model of the turtle? I could recolor it to match this one, and then put him in.
I like this
scene.
one is not only the sort of verdigris color, but his shell is kind of coppery.
Yeah, it's coppery and reflective. It's quite a good texture model, and he's got a good bump map on his skin too. He's got a little bumpy, little dimpled skin, and he's cerulean, something cerulean sea. I read that novel as a sci-fi fantasy novel, a fantasy novel that came out in the past 2 years. That was highly acclaimed. Anyways, tell me about the dailies that you did, Seema, and let's go visit some of those other areas here.
Well, I mean, I did already, but some of them, yeah, that's why you were looking at decorations.
I was looking at decorations, but you talked about how hard they were. I mean, like, let's go to the hidden Imperial base. So here we are. We start at the public port arrivals. Yeah, that's where we are, right? No, are we at the hidden? No, we're at the hidden Imperial base. I'm sure there's a hidden Republic base. Then there's 2 other areas where you go to do the dailies. The ancient Selkath city and the public port arrivals.
There won't necessarily be a hidden Republic base because there's an alliance between the Republic and the Selkath, so they wouldn't have to be hidden.
Oh, an unhidden Republic base.
But so, I mean, if you look at the map, you can see that there's like separate areas, sort of like Corellia, but not as big as a whole, not as big as Corellia.
Yep.
So there are some missions where you have to go to multiple of those areas. So like if you can't figure out where to go, look at the big map and see if you need to go to one of the other areas. So there's a couple of quests where you have to click on something, which means killing the mobs around it and on the way to it. And there's, like I said, there's the Seeker Droid one, and there might be a macro binoculars one. Since I only looked, I feel like maybe the quests are the same every day. I don't know, but I found there was a Seeker Droid one. Then there's at least one where you kill things, right? A number of things. Yeah, it's pretty typical daily stuff.
I just hopped in the taxi, as you mentioned, and it does go to black really fast. And we were wondering if that was going to change. What it is the submersible that was in the pool there is supposed to like dive you underwater and take you to the next area. I saw you come in on it, but yeah, it goes to black really fast. So this is the Imperial Kolto refining platform. There's a couple of I picked up all the dailies, so here you can see on the map which ones are here. Republic and Selkath allies defeat Republic and Selkath allies. 0 out of 15. Defeat Republic and Selkath allies. It's more of those. And then what is this over here? Slice refining platform monitor. Also on mission, Seema. Hey, you're on this mission too.
So if you were on a stealth character, which I wasn't, I mean, I could have been but I didn't switch my loadout or my combat style. I think you could probably stealth all the way to that monitoring station up in the north because there were no mobs right around it. I didn't notice if there were any stealth detecting mobs, so that might be a stopper. But so that's an example of maybe how it might fit into your sort of, or in my case, coffee and contemplation time in the mornings.
Right. That's always a good one to, and I expected that we would get that update from you before long, which was, yeah, what is the stealth perspective? And now with all of us, remember, you've got that second combat style. Grab a stealth class on, especially on alts, where you haven't picked a second combat style, you don't really care about the second combat style. Having stealth is really useful for this kind of thing.
It's a nice thing to have in your bag o' tricks.
Oop. I aggroed some dudes. Ooh, a combat medic. Kill the healer. We love to kill healers, don't we, Seema?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Seema's our healer. 2 of 15. Why only 2 of 15? We just killed 5 guys.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What the heck? Are these not all? Cannot do that while moving.
Oh, because yeah, your legacy stuff is incomplete.
I need to reset all my talents and stuff probably too. For Republic Trooper, is he he should give, I don't know what it is. No, we're killing him. Here I go, killing again. Crumbopulous Michael. That's me. Yeah. Now see, this is raining. This is raining. When I'm trying to quest and I don't like it. The reason I don't like it, and think I've mentioned this before, is I want to see what's going on. You did all this nice art and stuff. This is why I don't like night in MMOs, and this is why I don't like weather effects. Hey, you know what'd be really cool is if half the time the players couldn't even see what game we made for them. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? You know, why did you even bother? Just make it gray boxes then. Ooh, this guy is a little bit difficult to kill. But I got my arsenal all jazzed up, cranked up to 11. So we're almost done with this. I don't mean to be doing a complete. We'll tour the next area, but
yes, yeah, it does go pretty quickly though.
Yeah.
I mean, it and the way sharing goes now too. Even if there were a bunch of people here, since competition is less of a deal.
Oh no, Pathers. Complete daily missions. 1 of 4 and 1 of 6. Why did it say 1 of 4 and 1 of 6?
Because there's a daily patrol.
Oh, a daily is to complete 4 and the weekly is to complete 6.
Yeah.
Ooh, crazy. That's crazy talk. All right, let's go to the next area. Completed the mission. I got a rep token. I accept the rep token and I get rep and I got my conquest for getting that rep.
Yeah.
As you would expect. Okay, Ancient Selkath City. Should we go there?
Yeah.
Just do it.
It looks dangerous because it's just a quick travel point and nothing to stand on, looks like on the map.
It does look scary. And once we've been there, does it show up? No, it's just like.
I mean, it must be underwater.
Hold your breath. The Force does not protect you from the water. Even Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan had to have those little breather things in their mouths. So this is an underwater dome. I do like this area. I like the art. I like the design of it. It's one of the underwater domes. You got stuff to do down here. You got stuff to obtain the terminal processing code by killing some dudes and then slice the dig site monitor. Yeah. We
see that in the distance. You can see that's the thing.
Yeah.
You have to go over there and click on. And then down here on the ground, Like, for instance, this is one of the things you have to collect. This thing right here.
Did you throw it on the ground? You did, didn't you?
Not
Cellcath
my
artifact.
dad. It's a cell phone.
So I threw it on the ground. All right. And then the final area is another outdoor area, which is
See that item's back already.
public port arrivals. And this is if you jump in the water.
Yeah,
You
this is
end
where
up
you
here.
end up if you jump in the water.
If
Yeah.
you kill yourself, which I did many times so far. That's all I really did so far. You end up here. You start here. Ooh, look at those. What are those? Submersibles. Scan Cellcath Isolationist Submersible 004. Ooh, I like those.
Oh, today in tour, I did not realize that. They say there's a small chance when killing NPCs in the daily area that they'll drop the reputation vendor decorations too.
Really?
Yeah.
You think I can?
So that does make it seem like they could possibly be sellable.
You think I can swim over to these submersibles?
Yeah,
Seema?
absolutely, I
You
do.
think I can? Think I can?
Yeah.
There you go. Whee! Dead instantly.
Oh, I was wrong. Sorry.
You know, lies and deceit are tools of the Sith, Seema. just so you know. Yeah, so another cool area. Again, not too huge, but they're still sizable. Even this area is kind of sizable. Slice the visitor center monitor, go mess with the submersibles, go kill some dudes to get the codes. The area is under assault. It's good art. It is not raining here, which is nice. So the weather has cleared up in this area, apparently. All right. One other thing I wanted to talk about, though, is so this is all the dailies, and I do like this. All right, this will be something different. This will be something to mess around with, and we'll spend some time here. This is a daily area I think I would enjoy doing and adding to my daily area rotation. For Conquest, that's the only reason I do dailies is for Conquest. Sometimes
And
ARMs. This expansion 7.0,
ARMs.
I've been doing dailies for ARMs. Previously, I'd never bothered to do dailies, not even for Conquest. I would just go fly GSF and do PvP. It's ARMs that are driving me to do dailies. And this would be fine to have as a rotation in place along with the other dailies I do. Oh, I like the floor texture. It looks nice.
I do too.
It's got a nice bump map and reflectivity. Let's talk about, though, before we wrap up, R4. And the only thing we went into R4, even just you and I. The first boss I heard, even in vet mode, is crazy difficult, which is interesting. So, and I did find, do I have that post? I did find a really interesting comment from a vet mode team I did want to bring up. So this is a team that went in and tried R4. They're a vet mode progression team. They're doing master mode. They've done everything except master mode Duxon. So they've done like master mode stuff. They haven't finished Apex Predator yet. So that's the only thing they sort of haven't done in the regular game. What they have found, though, is R4 story mode is useless to them because they're already at full 330. If you've been doing master mode content currently in the game, you have 330 gear. You have 330 Ricotta. So 330 isn't interesting to them. And if R4 story mode caps out at 330, then that's not useful to them. So they went in and they tried out R4 vet mode. And from their testing, it's harder than Apex Predator. And they're in full 330. And if they can't even kill the first boss to start getting those tokens and then progressing to get closer to 340 to do the rest of the operation, that difficulty level doesn't scale properly. So that is interesting to note. And this was a really good post, I think, and hopefully BioWare takes a look at it. For this kind of group, which is top, again, this is the top 5%, 0.5% of teams that's even at this level. If in vet mode with full 330 and they can clear almost every current boss in the game. They can't do the first vet mode boss in R4. They're never going to get above 330. They're never going to get above R4. They have nowhere to go and nothing to do. They will quit the game. So what we need is for vet mode players to be able to at least be killing the first couple bosses in R4. If you want to make it so that you need like 335 average to get past the third boss or whatever, fine. But that's where that kind of break point needs to be. You need to be able to kill with an average group. You need to be able to kill the first boss with an average vet mode progression group. You need to be able to kill the first boss in R4 in 330 gear relatively easily so you can have that on farm and be farming it week to week and then working on the next couple bosses. That makes sense?
Yes.
I think it makes sense as well. So, yeah, great post. I really like that. I would highly recommend BioWare takes a look at that and takes it to heart. The other thing, which I have not seen any of the posts on, I don't know if you have yet, is Lady Dominique. Yeah, that's her name. Lady Dominique. I do know that some of the BioWare team were quite excited about Lady Dominique and what she brings to the table, which is a couple things. And I haven't seen it, so we'll just tease it today and hopefully get some video or somebody's going to go in there and do it. They did say that the newest boss has been added. She's the fourth and final boss. They wanted to make her a bit special, so this is how they described it. So we really honed and focused our efforts into some wild new mechanics and surprises players haven't seen in the past. Cool. Sounds cool. One focus in particular was how the encounter communicates to the player in terms of readability of the boss mechanics. So that's the telegraphs. Our VFX team did some new work throughout the operation, so we're looking forward to what you think about all of these improvements as you go through R4 on PTS. What's great about working on SWTOR is the ability to try out new things and constantly find ways we can improve and enhance the player experience. We'll continue to make changes to future operations to bring new experiences to our players. I think they've already been good that all along about making cool new mechanics and operations. So I am excited to see what that looks like here, but I've been satisfied in the past with boss mechanics and new unique mechanics as they've been introduced in all of the operation. Duxon, for example, has some new unique fun stuff, little surprise stuff, little fun effects things, and then the mechanics of the fights were always fun as well. Matt Pusevich has always been good at torturing players in interesting new ways, and I've appreciated that. Today in Tor does mention SWTORista, and I do know that they cleared the operation. She showed a screenshot. They killed Lady Dominique at the same time she killed the last player in their group, and then the whole operation bugged out, and they weren't able to get back in and even check if she had any loot on her. But they killed her on story mode. So we will get to be able to see some video of what they're talking about here in terms of the VFX, the special effects, and the boss mechanics and the telegraphs and how that all works. I'm looking forward to it. You think we can get a group together, Seema? Chat room? You in?
I'd like to.
All you listening out there, let's do it. Let's get a group. Maybe this weekend. Unless we have to go play We Were Here Forever a little bit more, which is what the Behind the Games last episode was about. It's a 2-player co-op puzzle escape room game, and Seema and I have to communicate vocally in that game. We should stream that too.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
We told Marcus and Nick that they should stream that, but we should stream it, and we'll have to play into it and really yell at each other though. I said squiggly lined snakehead Pinocchio nose. You have to describe what you're seeing in interesting ways. All right, Zen says he's in. Zen lives in the future though. So
if we have Zen, that's all we need, really.
3 of us, 3-man. We're gonna 3-man R4. Sounds good to me. Let's do it. All right. I'm glad that we've got 7.1 on the PTS. I expect we're going to be able to. We should have a couple weeks. I don't expect too long because they're going to want to get 7.1 ready to put out. And they do have a couple weeks that they need to implement the final tweaks coming out of the PTS and then do all of the other things, which is all the localization and final testing and prep for release. So hopefully we'll only have a couple weeks. And then we'll be getting the 7.1 update in July sometime. Not guaranteed, though, so we'll see. We could be able to mess with it on the PTS for quite a while. That's fine. I'll still mess with it myself as time allows. As much as time as they give me, might as well play it here, and then we'll play it in release as well. You are death from aboving me, Seema.
Yes, I am.
It. All right, anything else before we wrap it up for today?
No, I think that's it.
All right. This has been many hours in front of the camera for me today. So
yes, many hours in my chair today. If
this episode was a little bit off the rails, now you know why, but we are ready to wrap it up. So with that, we will kick EPC 428 out of an airlock to broadcast this episode to all of you out there to keep from missing out. Fear of missing out. I'm instilling fear of missing out into you at this moment, if you didn't notice. To keep from missing out, subscribe on New Overlords to New Overlords on YouTube and iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher. Subscribe, join our new Discord. That link is in a bunch of places. I keep putting it on Twitter and I put it in the chat room here. I'll put it in the show notes. Join our new Discord. You'll get all of the stuff. You'll get sneak previews to what we're going to be talking about in the next episode and sneak previews to our other podcast, Behind the Games. And you can find all the links to everything on newoverlords.com. Follow me on Twitter at Max the Gray or at my real name at Jeff Villamek. And I will keep you up to date. And for the AIE Guild on Starforge, aka Keller's Void, and in all of the games that we play, check out AIE-guild.org. And the Discord link will be in the upper right there. Jump in there and jump down in the SWTOR channels. We've got guilds in the Republic and the Imperial side. We would be happy to get you an invite. And we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.